Oh. What's up, beautiful people? How you guys doing? It's your boy, Mr. 200. I'm feeling absolutely amazing today. Hope you guys are doing good. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. If you're not, you will probably be surprised by my face so quickly because I don't really post. But I'm back again just to talk about something really quickly because that's just what I do, right? So recently I've been mentoring a lot of young people and I find that some of the things I'm having conversations with like my mentees about more than anything is really kind of like encouraging them through their process, through their journey. Like a lot of people, even like myself actually, a lot of the struggles I face are when it comes to really just focusing on the things, even if things are going bad, it's continuing that process and not giving up on yourself. And I was really moved to make this video because I was listening to a sermon today and it said a statement. It said, what did it say? So it said, I had to write it down because it was too hot. It said, if you judge it in the process of doing it, you interrupt the power of it. And I love this phrase so much. So if you judge it in the process of doing it, it will lose the power. You lose the power of it. You interrupt the power of it. I think it's such a real hard-hitting statement, actually, for many reasons. Because isn't that really where we often fail? Like the fact that like sometimes we get so zoned into our problems, we see it from such a micro scale point that it becomes this big thing that just becomes like this big mountain, and it's like it's a molehill. Like, and I think that's the thing about perception. Sometimes when you're in the middle of your suffering or your pain or your process, you struggle to really look and actually accurately be able to predict the truth of what you're involved in. And I think it's important that we try to make sure we don't take that approach to things. And I really employ more people to really take a macro view. Like in this current moment of our lives, if we don't do what we know now best in an excellent way, then we potentially ruin the great thing that is at work, even if we don't believe it is great, even if we don't think it is great. I think that's a really key thing, and I found like is a real kind of like a stumbling block for a lot of people. Yeah. Truth be told, I just really connect with it. If you judge it in the process of doing it, you interrupt the power of it. And sometimes we lose like our power, we lose the beauty of something just because it was so like, it just doesn't go. I guess like an example that comes to mind to kind of like really put it in somewhat of layman's terms. I mean, somebody out there probably has like a better example. But like I think of if you look at a sprint. A sprinter starts the race right at the beginning, and all you have to really do is jump out of the blocks and go. Move your feet as quickly as possible. And I guess imagine in that moment, you as the runner, you are overthinking your position next to everybody else, and in your mind you say, I failed. Just because you might have come out the blocks slightly slower, you lose the opportunity to really tackle. If you get in your head and really in that moment, you literally decide, oh, I'm behind, then you might lose that power of the fact that you had a drive phase, you had your mid section of the race, you had the last part of the race to really like recover. And a lot of us, you know, sometimes a lot of creatives I know, we get stifled because we didn't do the beginning as best as possible. So now we think we have failed. I face this phenomenon most when I write. Like in my head, like the idea of writing, I feel so unqualified that the fact that people care about what I have to say is so foreign to me that like I stop myself from writing because I say I'm not a writer. I judge myself in the middle of a process, and it loses the power of it. You know, I find that some of the most moving things I've ever written were probably not the things I felt were the greatest, but they were the things I had to share. And some of us are really stifling ourselves where we are because we're too worried about, I guess, the clout side of things. Like, will this be applauded? Will people love this? And we lose the power of what is necessary to the one person who might really need it. So we stop producing the work, we stop doing things that still are excellent because of the perceived receival of something that hasn't even yet been sent. That's crazy. So I really wanted to make this video because I really want us to kind of like question that and really think about it. Like, where in your life are you doing something similar? Where in your life are you stopping yourself from starting because of your idea that what you can create or what you will bring out will just not be needed or required or be good, or all these different things? You're judging yourself in the middle of a process that is powerful and thus losing that power. That's what I wanted to share today. And I guess I love this because he said kind of like to round up, he said if Jesus was judged by the world's standards, he would have died a failure. And that's like heavy, that's heavy. If Jesus was judged by the world's standard, he would have died a failure. Are you in your life right now judging yourself by a standard in which you are not called to, or judging yourself by a standard that's not applicable to you, and thus calling yourself a failure in the very place you've been planted to change that environment you're in? Like, you are very much the person that can make that difference, but you can't judge yourself in the middle of the process and remove the power that's already been put inside of what you're about to do. So I just say this because this is somewhere that I go through all the time and it connected with me, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So I guess I'm releasing a piece tomorrow talking about this phenomenon a little bit tomorrow on my mailing list, so do subscribe. It's going to come to your emails if you subscribe. Join that. And then I'm also going to link below the video which I watched. It's by Stephen Furtick. I don't know if that's how to say it, but it's by Elevation Church. It's a sermon. It's a Sunday, so I was watching the sermon and I thought this is really perfect, and I just wanted to really say, like, really share it to my audience. Like, there's a lot of young people who are losing themselves because they're forgetting that they're indeed in a process that's changing them, because they haven't seen the end. And you've already lost the game if you're too worried about the end of the game and you don't play. I think I wrote about this before. If you spend too much time looking at the scoreboard, you will literally miss the opportunity to change that score, because if you don't play the game, you don't score. If you're looking at a scoreboard and that's all you care about, you will definitely lose the game. And in our lives, sometimes we have to really be diligent to the process and not judge ourselves from where we are. Don't judge yourself from where you are in the beginning of the race, because at the end of the race is what tells you about how you performed. So keep going, guys. Love you lots. God bless. I'm gonna see you guys soon. Easy.